U.S. stock futures fell Tuesday as rates ticked higher, zapping momentum from a tech-led jump in the previous session. Dow Jones Industrial Average futures lost 192 points, or 0.5%. S&P 500 futures dipped 0.6%, and Nasdaq 100 futures slipped 0.8%. Shares of Juniper Networks popped more than 20% in pre-market trading Tuesday after a report said HPE could announce a deal to acquire the networking hardware company for about $13 billion as soon as this week. Unity Software's stock price lost 1.2% after the company said it would lay off roughly 25% of its workforce, and Netflix shares declined 1.8% on a Citi downgrade. The benchmark 10-year Treasury note yield rose more than 4 basis points, trading above 4%. Those moves come after a strong trading session for equities. The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq Composite on Monday rallied more than 1% and 2%, respectively, as mega-cap tech stocks bounced from last week's declines. Nvidia shares reached an all-time high, climbing 6.4% during the session. Even the 30-stock Dow ended the day more than 200 points higher, or 0.6%. The index overcame a sharp drop in Boeing shares following news over the weekend that the company's aircraft would be temporarily grounded. Mega-cap tech stocks outperformed as investors bought the dip after last week's sell-off. Investors were worried major names such as Apple could underperform after their market leadership last year, but other traders expect the outlook for tech stocks remains bright. The market's really trying to figure out how many cuts we're going to have this year, and for us, we believe that more equities will see all-time highs at the end of 2024, said AJ Oden, global investment strategist at JPMorgan Private Bank. And the reason for that is we believe that technology will have a pretty strong year, and that'll sort of add to that tailwind that we're seeing in equities into the end of the year. Later this week, investors will parse through a pair of key inflation readings to gain clarity into the path forward for rate cuts from the Federal Reserve. The December Consumer Price Index is set for release Thursday, followed by the Producer Price Index on Friday. Check out some of the companies making headlines in pre-market trading. Unity Software. Shares climbed nearly 3% following news that the company would reduce its workforce by 25%, or about 1,800 employees. Hewlett Packard Enterprise, Juniper Networks. Juniper Network stock soared more than 23% after a report from the Wall Street Journal said the company was close to finalizing a deal to be bought by Hewlett Packard Enterprise. Shares of Hewlett Packard Enterprise pulled back more than 9%. Match Group. The Tinder owner climbed nearly 16% after a report from Reuters said activist investor Elliott Investment Management has built its stake in the company to about $1 billion. Read the full list here.